Let's just say you bought a new crossover that came with all-terrain tires with a 3-peak winter rating. Sounds great, right? But when the ice and snow hits, do you really need to spend the extra money on a winter tire? Well, we're here at our test hill to find out. That's coming up on Driving Sports TV. If you buy a brand new crossover, chances are it comes with all-season radials. Or if you spend some extra money on an off-road capable trim, like this Forester Wilderness, it might come with all terrains with a 3-peak winter rating. And that sounds almost perfect, right? I mean, all terrain plus winter snow and ice? It sounds almost too good to be true, doesn't it? That's because it is. So in this video, we're going to compare a mild OEM all-terrain tire that is 3-peak rated for snow with a proper winter tire. So what we have here is the Vredestein Wintrac Pro. What separates a winter tire from a 3-peak rated all-terrain is that this tire has been designed and tested for handling and stopping on packed snow, in addition to ice and slushy conditions. It has wide channels for efficient water evacuation from the contact patch, in addition to siping, these slits here, which provide better grip on ice. And even on a cold day like today, the tire is still pliable. These tires are wrapped around a set of Koenig Runlight 17 by 7.5 inch wheels in a 5 by 114.3 pattern, which is a close match in terms of size with the OEM wheel and tire package. The wheel itself hits the scale at about 19 pounds, which is pretty light actually. And I have to say, this package looks amazing. The final piece for today's test is the vehicle we'll be using. This is a 2022 Subaru Forester Wilderness. It has 9.2 inches of ground clearance, all-terrain tires, off-road tuned suspension, a trail camera, additional recovery points, and a factory skid plate, which we've swapped out with one from Primitive Racing. It is just more robust and durable than what you get from the factory. We've also added Primitive's diff guard in the back. The Subaru is powered by a 2.5-liter Boxer 4-cylinder engine, producing up to 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. It's connected to a CVT with a wider ratio and a revised final drive. An extra transmission cooler keeps temperatures in check. Symmetrical all-wheel drive is standard, and here it's enhanced with Subaru's dual X-Mode off-road programs. Price as you see it here, $33,945 US, including destination. So let's talk about how we're going to do this test. First, I'm going to drive a number of the routes at our course here with the Subaru Forester using the OEM wheels and tires. Then I'm going to bring it right back down here, change it out with the Wintracs, and see which is better. And I have to make a comment about the conditions today. It is cold. It's about 29 degrees. We have fresh snow on top of some compacted ice. So it's going to be interesting. This is not a proper scientific test. And that's simply because it's 28 degrees. The snow is actually slightly melting a little bit as the day wears on. So when we put the winters on, we're going to try to push them as far as we can, but it's not going to be exact. But we should see a significant difference, hopefully. Okay, first run. This is one of our shallower climbs. It's usually pretty easy. I'm basically just going to put the vehicle in normal mode. I'm not going to use any of the X mode settings. And the reason is because this isn't really a test of the vehicle, it's a test of the tire. If I do get into a pickle, I will, of course, implement all the tools that I can to get out of that naturally. It's, of course, always important to look at conditions. And what we have here is probably got a couple inches of snow. See, about that much. And then underneath it is there's some moisture, there's some slush. It's not a hard freeze because we're only at about 28, 29 degrees here, and there's a little bit of a stream going down on the side there. So I think it'll do fine on this part of the course, but let's see just how good it can do. Actually, a hard freeze would have been better, but we're in almost March. This video will come out in March, and we can't pick the weather that we get, you know? Now, I've driven this exact course with this exact vehicle before, so we have a history here. We know what this will do. I want to stay to the right for this run, and we want to see not just how it does. Ooh, it's a little slippery. I want to see how it feels. Slam brakes on. Okay, this is a good several feet there, and then getting that acceleration going again. Okay. Turn around here, and then we'll go back down. Okay, so far, very, very easy, no big deal. The all-terrains on this vehicle did just fine. Now, conditions like this are actually pretty good for these all-terrains because it's soft snow, it's a little slushy underneath, but we're not dealing with that hard freeze ice. That really is where winter tires excel. And on to the next test now. We, of course, have steeper hills on the other side. So just like I expected with these tires, it climbed up that no problem. And when I slammed on the brakes, I did slide for a few feet. And when I throttled, it did take a moment for traction to kick in and to get me up the hill. But again, it was no issue because that was actually a pretty easy climb. This next hill is both steeper, longer, and I think a little slimier. And the snow looks deeper. This will be perfect. So my approach here is basically drive it. And away we go. Ooh, slippery. Oh, definitely slippery. I'm kind of wavering left and right. I don't know if you can see this on the outside, but I'm definitely feeling the course have its way with me. Going over some ice there. Slam on the brakes a little. Okay. Spin the wheels. Yep. It gets going, but it is struggling a little bit. It's going to get a little steeper here. Let's try stopping here because we're testing the tires, right? And throttle. Oh yeah, twist it up. And up we go. And we got one more leg to do here to the top. And then we're gonna make it all the way to the top here, I think. Oh man, this is slipping all over the place. Can we make it? Come on. Come on. Oh, it's trying really hard. So much wheel spin. It's sliding everywhere. Come on. I think we can do this. It's not a sheer drop, but let's just say it's steep enough over there. Okay. Yee. Whoa, whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, and we made it with the stock tires. It was a little sketchy at times, but it did get up here. So now I'm really interested, how is this going to differ with proper winter tires? Will we have more control? Let's find out. Down we go. I mean, you just look at that pattern of all over the place. I'm going to try to stick to my pattern here. Oop, oop. And let's just note too that the 3 peak rating, what it covers is compacted snow accelerating. It doesn't cover braking or turning on ice and snow. Like my foot is fully on the brakes right now, and yeah, ABS is kicking in hard. Okay, I'm going to try to keep the snow there untouched so that I can do this with the other tires and try to stick on fresh snow. That climb plus all the other things that I've done with these specific tires on this specific vehicle, I think give me a really good sense of what it's capable of. So now let's pull into the pits and change out all the tires with the Vredestein Wintrac Pros. I'm also really curious how good these Koenig wheels look on a Forester. I wouldn't think of them as Forester wheels, but they were the right size and they do look good. So I'm hoping it'll be a win. Now I'm gonna do a montage because it's a montage. Even though this is a mostly level surface, just want to be careful so we don't get rollback. Jack isn't high enough. Don't try this at home. Not technically correct. The primitive skid plates are strong enough to be jack points. Because we have a primitive skid plate, we can actually use that as a jack point in the front as well. Now it's important to note that the Vredesteins are directional. That is, they can only be mounted one way. The Yokohamas are bidirectional. Doesn't matter which way you mount them. Now we're actually not going to use these again because the wheels here require an acorn style. So you can tell the new ones here are the bigger ones, and that's the original. Do not change tires like this at home. This is the rally style where you do it wherever you can. This is not the safe method. I need to state that. But when you're doing side-by-side tire comparisons, sometimes you have no choice. In case you're wondering, this is the DeWalt DCF 899H brushless 3-speed impact with a 1/2-inch head. I bought this twice, I liked it so much. First time it was stolen. Now that we have the Wintrac Pros from Vredestein on, proper winter tires, let's see how this does. Floor it. Oh, so much better grip right off the bat. Pretty good control. Obviously, I am still driving on ice, and ice is slippery. There's nothing you can do about that. But the amount of control that I'm getting here, let's slam the brakes on. That's probably half the distance. Floor it again. Boom, and we go. Significant improvement. Now let's see what this upper section can do. So on this final section, it has iced up from where I drove before. It's not just nice, fluffy snow, but I am gripping and going. Can I drive straighter here? Yep, much better control. It's still ice, so it's still a little slippery here. But yeah, overall, I think that's pretty good. Okay, we made it to the top. Now let's see what it's good for going down. If you remember, it was really slippery when we were going down, and I'm going to try to actually drive just on the straight snow and ice here. Oh my gosh, the confidence of braking is so much better. Yeah, it's still ice. Yeah, it still takes a moment, but it is so much quicker. It's that compound, the siping, all of it works together to just make a better tire. Okay, so I understand you probably want to see this go up a hill that has not been driven up yet. Well, luckily we have one of those too. This is a little rougher. The snow is a little bit different, but we'll give it a try. Let's see. Oof. Oh, yes. Yeah, again, no problem. No problem at all. These tires are great in these conditions. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, that's a lot of undergrowth up here. Huh. And I think that at the end of the day, that just shows that with the right tires, a good all-wheel drive system can pretty much get anywhere. But I get the impression you're not going to be satisfied until we take this on one of our off-road courses. So let's go ahead and tackle the Rattler and see how it does. Now, I haven't driven on the Rattler since winter set in because typically snow's been too deep. But I think it might be passable today, at least with winter tires on. So let's find out. Now, for people asking, yes, I am just running these at standard OEM pressure, and the reason was for the before and after comparison. Of course, we're beyond that now. One thing you'll probably notice on the outside is actually how snow cakes up on winter tires. They actually do that on purpose to improve grip. It's like the opposite of an all-terrain, or a mud terrain, which is designed to fling mud off of the tire. So you can tell, very different design approach. I don't expect this lower section to be difficult. It's just boulders with a little snow and ice on it, but the climb out of here, that's going to be the fun part. And by fun, I mean most likely terrifying. Oh boy, we have had some fun up this hill. Always sketchy. Okay, so this is basically what we're used to. It's steep, it's got ice on it under the snow, and then mud under that. That's deep over there. I'm going to try to stay to the side. I think that'll give me the best traction. Right. I'm just going to hit drive. I'm not turning on any X modes. Let's see how this does. Okay, well, we're already spinning, so that's great. Let's move back a little bit. Okay, let's see, we got some grip here. Now, if we start to have issues, I'll just call it good. This is a bonus round. What? Wow, it gets grip into that snow and then just keeps on going. What? Dang, that's really good. Wow. Okay, well, there you go. Wintrac Pros, like a boss. I just want to say thank you to Vredestein for sending us the tires. This is not a sponsored video, but they did send us the tires. Koenig Wheels for sending us these awesome wheels. We'll put a link down below in the description. And also, Primitive Enterprises, great skid plates. It made jacking up the car to get the tires on so much easier when you only have one front point, one rear point, and you don't have to mess with like all four corners. Anyway, love, love, love your stuff. And hey, if you are in the market for wheels, skid plates, or tires, please check out those brands. Again, not a sponsored video, but they did make it possible because I didn't want to spend a few $1,000s. So thank you, thank you. Thank you to the viewers. Thank you to the companies that provided the products. Couldn't do this without you. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again right here real soon.